Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, Strong Style, Cinephile, once again coming at you audio only due to technical difficulties. We will get those sorted as soon as possible. So, this is Batwoman, Toxic. So, let's kick about it for a scant few minutes now. The gist of the episode was Poison Ivy's plot to flood Gotham City. We get a little bit into her past, and we find out that she had a younger brother who ended up dying. That's not her primary motivation, but it was a factor in kind of shaping her to who she is. We find out also that she is draining Mary. Mary's boosts, her recharging of Ivy is having a negative toll on Mary, and Mary's also not exactly keen on the fact that Poison Ivy is going to drown, the corporations of Gotham and thus kill thousands upon thousands of people. We see that in her eyes that Mary is not totally on board with what's going on, even though she kind of hassles a corporation guy in the beginning of the episode. We see some just reservation in how things are going, and as I thought in the last episode, sure enough, Mary is the catalyst to stopping Ivy at the dam. Ivy and Mary kind of have words, and then Ivy just gets another boost, which leaves Mary unconscious. Damn people find her, they call the cops, and they're rushing Mary to the hospital. Team Batwoman finds out, they intervene, rescue Mary, and try to get her to help them stop Ivy. Mary, of course, thinks that they're just trying to trick her, that Ivy actually cares about her, yada, yada, yada. And they also inform Mary that she killed somebody, which is something that's going to have a lasting effect, hopefully, on Mary. I was hoping by the end of the episode it wasn't something that was getting swept under the rug. Because we know in the Arrowverse we have this habit of letting people get away scot-free who do stuff. The Thinker's wife stands out most of all, just having been complicit rather, in killing however many people, and then she literally gets to just walk out the door and skate away like scot-free. That bugs me to this day. We see by the end of the episode she's kind of looking at an article on the person that she killed, and she says she doesn't want to know, kind of shuts the laptop. But I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be something like Roy in Arrow, when he found out he killed the cop, and then he was providing food and dropping stuff off to the guy's family to kind of deal with the guilt that he felt for what he did. I wonder if we're going to get something with that. Like I said, I don't know how she's exactly going to deal with her grief and the fact that this guilt is going to be weighing on her, but I really hope it's not swept under the rug. That would be very bad, in my opinion. Other parts of the episode, we see Luke overcome his issues within himself to kind of close out other negative voices, and he decides to focus on his voice as he helps Ryan in the field while she's dealing with a weakened Poison Ivy. Luke is fixing the dam, basically. As I said, they use Mary to stop Poison Ivy. Basically, Montoya got a hold of some kind of chemical that allows her to block Ivy's pheromones. Mary drinks it, Ivy absorbs Mary, negatively affects Poison Ivy, making it so Ryan can take her down, which is what happens. And then we just, again, more evidence that the Arrowverse writers do not understand how the legal system works. We get this happy ending for Montoya, and I just said a second ago about my issue with them letting people who were complicit in murder and death and destruction get away scot-free, just skate scot-free. And this is what Montoya did. Montoya allowed Poison Ivy to escape. She had this plan with the whole rogue weaponry, blah, 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 blah. And it was just basically to track down Ivy to set her free and hopefully reunite with her because that's her soulmate. But she, by doing this, was complicit in Ivy killing multiple people and almost killing many, many more. But apparently she makes a deal with Ivy to go to this, Coreana and just live out the rest of their lives. Like, that's we don't need that. Like, why are they afraid of just actual consequences and just the stuff that needs to happen to people who kill and murder and maim, and it just other stuff in the episode. Jada is once again in the spotlight as the baddie because she gave the buzzer back to Batwoman, with Ryan promising to be able to find a way to get it to work, which I still don't think it's going to work, but whatever. With the condition that they turn over Marcus's body to her. If they don't, they miss the deadline, stopping Ivy, helping Mary, that sort of thing, and then she goes on the offensive, kind of putting it out there that Batwoman is to blame for all these rogue weapons or whatever. It's just so stupid that they're weapons because they're not. They're just whatever. But blaming Batwoman for them being out there. And then we see towards the end of the episode that the dam, while they stopped it from blowing up, apparently some damage was done enough to it to where water is leaking in. Water's leaking into Mary's clinic. All it takes is a drop to re-moisturize, and Marcus hits it, so he's clearly going to get out and then cause, problems, stuff like that. So it remains to be seen kind of how things go with that. And Sophie had some words about the whole kiss thing in the previous episode, and then there wasn't really a lot of time spent on what, will they, won't they in this episode, which I was fine with. Don't want a whole bunch of that crap. But just, it was a okay episode. It kind of wrapped up some threads as far as Mary goes, as far as Luke goes, and his finding his confidence. And it kind of set the stage for the rest, for at least another handful of episodes in the season, with Jada and coming after Batwoman, Marcus waking up, being free, Mary dealing with her guilt, Alice her newfound freedom, I guess. So remains to be seen kind of how things shake out. But I'm gonna kind of miss the Poison Mary aspect of Mary, but remains to be seen kind of where they go with her in the future. Like I said, I just want there to be consequences and people to feel things and not just have stuff swept under the rug, which the Arrowverse just does far too much and did in this episode. So I don't know. Hopefully they don't keep doing that and thus further disappoint me with what they're doing. Remains to be seen. Anyway, those are some of my thoughts on it. Scattered as they often are. What do you guys have to think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Until next time. Let us geek.